back with another episode of Self-Defense for you. Today we are going to go over collar ties. So in these situations, this is one of those where it kind of sets itself up for a lot of different moves that could possibly happen, which could turn into a bit more of a dangerous situation. But the idea is it's a simple collar tie. This, again, if this person has any grappling experience, a lot of time this could be used to go for a takedown. I can do this and let go and let the person pop back up and go in for a takedown. I can pull the person down and start kneeing them in the face. I can pull them down to start striking behind the head or the back or start pushing them. So there's a lot of different situations that can come across from the collar tie. So what we're going to focus on today is how do we initially break this initial grip. So understand a couple things. When it comes to this, as we've mentioned numerous times in the past, anytime someone is physically grabbing you, we have to turn our focus to that grip, because if we do not control the grip, we're not going to be able to control the fight in that situation. Even if he's throwing punches, I can still block the punches and control that, but if he's controlling this grip, it's going to make it harder for me to go away, and he's always going to be able to feed me back into whatever he wants to do for his attack. So if it's initial one where he's kind of just grabbing you on the back of the head, they're not really ripping you down, but he's just having a nice firm grip, a couple options that you can have. One, if I decide to do a counter grab, I can literally just grab him with a collar tie and actually tuck my elbow over the top of his and grab mine a little bit tighter. One, I have the possibility of breaking his grip to begin with, but two, now I'm in control because now my grip is stronger. Obviously from here, I can throw strikes if I need to, and I can simply just use that as a disengage to get him away. So a simple option, but may not always be the case. If this person has a lock solid grip and I can't get my hand over here, either they're too big for me, they're too strong for me, they're taller than me, and I just can't physically reach over here, that's fine. So another option that we have, if they initially just put the hand on the back of your head, they haven't really had time to settle yet, I'm gonna kind of duck my head, take the same side arm and actually brush the hand off my head as I turn away, and then I'm instantly gonna have to look back into the person. I can't just turn and walk away in that sense. I have to instantly put my vision back on where my attacker is. So again, I tuck my head, literally just brush it right off the head, I can come back. Similar, if he actually locks it down and it's nice and tight, we're going to do the similar kind of motion, but we're going to turn into a Russian tie, which again, as you've seen, we like to apply this situation to a lot of different techniques. So this time I'm going to take my opposite hand, grab this person's wrist. Same time that I'm turning, one, I'm going to turn my head and look the other way. Two, I'm going to utilize my shoulder to start turning this pressure. Now, as you notice, the pressure of my shoulder also starts kind of turning his elbow a little bit. Now, I'm going to take my same hand as this is happening and actually come from underneath, grab the top of the bicep, and we're going to end up right into the Russian tie, pull it through. Now I've got the Russian tie, it's nice and locked, and again, now I'm controlling the situation from here. So again, as we've seen, obviously I can take the person down with the Russian tie, I can push him away with this, I can merely just use this as a way to control this person. If we want to get fancy, I can strike. You can even grab the head and come and take the person down if you want to. There's a lot of different options if you decide you want to get a little bit more fancy with the move. There's a lot of variation that you can do from there. But again, that Russian tie idea is just a simple way to kind of break that grip to begin with. Now, if the person grabs you and they start ripping you, still with collar tie, if they start ripping you down hard, one thing that I recommend immediately is just having your hands here in case that this person decides to start throwing a knee. If I just come down with my hands down and I eat that first knee, the fight's over. So if I feel like he's pressuring me down hard, I want to put my hands up immediately so that I can help block the knee. Even there's a possibility that when he throws that knee, that I can block it and quickly catch it. Now from this situation, I can rip this straight up, and now I have the person in the single leg. I can use that to take the person down and kind of change the tides of the fight in that sense. But either way, I want to have my hands up from here. Again, as this is happening, I want to make sure these movements are going to be a little bit harder to do when this person has pulled you down as hard. Also keep in mind, in case this person starts trying to strike you in the back of the head, that there's not going to be much I can do in that situation unless I start attacking down here first. So after I put my hands up, if nothing is happening, again, we're going to do two things at once. So first is I'm going to constantly be trying to lift my head as much as possible and just kind of counter resistance to what his grip is. I don't want to give in to this. I want to kind of resist as much as I can so that that escape motion is always there. At the same time that I'm doing that, strike him in the groin, strike him on the inside of the thigh, strike him in the gut, and as I'm pressuring up and I'm throwing these strikes, notice that I'm now also working my strikes higher and higher until I get to the person's face. Now I can throw the strikes. If the grip is still here, now I can fight off the grip in that sense, still throw my strikes. Hopefully by that point though, after you throw a couple of these first strikes, that grip's going to let go. I can come in, throw the rest of the strikes and get away. So just understand the collar tie, although it may seem harmless just by them grabbing, those who have experience with grappling understand that this is a very powerful technique here, and it can feed into a lot of situations that could turn out to be a lot more dangerous for you. So anytime someone grabs the back of your head like that, take care of it right away. Don't dilly-dally. Break that grip, control the grip. Again, dominate the situation as much as possible with the grips. Do your strikes that you need to from there. Get away, stay safe, See you next time.